Checking environment settings in a real environment. So, first we have what are environment variables? A dynamic name values that affect how processes run on a computer. Examples: the path, the executable locations; home, the user home directory; Java home, Java installation path. Importance of checking. Troubleshooting. Identify and resolve issues caused by incorrect or missing environment variables. Application deployment. Ensure applications have the necessary settings to function correctly. For security, it verifies sensitive information like API keys or database credentials are not exposed. And the last one is the debugging. Pinpoint the root cause of unexpected application behavior. So these are the process on how to check and how to make safe your environment variables.
Hi, so for my part, for the second part of the PowerPoint is about the methods of checking environment variables. And to check the environment variable is you can use an echo command on your terminal replacing variable with the name of an environment variable you want to check on Linux or Mac. Type echo $variable, big letters, and on Windows, type echo %variable %. You can also see in the PowerPoint here, we can display the PowerPoint that we have in this slide, and this will display the value of the variable if it's set. And to see all environment variables, use print env, which means print env in short environment on Linux, Mac, or set on Windows. And for the key points about checking environment variables, accessing the specific values of, specific variable for Linux and Mac, we can use echo $variable, and then in Windows, echo %variable %. And in listing all the environment variables for Linux and Mac, you just need to use print env, and then for Windows, you need to type set. That's all. And then for example scenarios for checking the value of db host or database underscore host, big letters, and then environment variables in Linux and Macs, we're just gonna use echo $db underscore host, and then for Windows, we just use echo %db underscore host. View all variable for viewing all variable environment variables for Linux and Mac, we just need to use print and env, and then for Windows, we just select set. For important considerations, by the way, and in case of sensitivity, and in environment variable names are usually case sensitive. To ensure, type the name exactly as it's defined. And for empty variables, if an environment variables is set but no value, the echo command will simply display blank. So blank line. And then for programming languages, most programming languages also provide functions to access environment variables within your code, allowing you to check their values dynamically. So that's all. Thank you so much.
Common environment variables to check. So path, crucial for finding executable files. And then Java home, which specifies the Java installations directory. And then for the Python path, used by Python to find modules. And then database URL, so connection string for databases. And then API keys, credentials for accessing external services. And then for environment specific variables, so variables that control applications behavior, just for example, which is the debug and then the stage. So number 4, which is the best practices. So document environment variables. So maintain clear documentation of all environment variables and their expected values. And the next, which is use environment variables managers. So tools to manage and version environment variables across different environments like development, testing, and then the production. And then regularly review, so periodically check and update environment variables to ensure they remain accurate and secure. And then last, which is implement security measures. Store sensitive information securely, like for example environment variables, not directly in code. Use less privilege principles. Only grant applications the necessary environment variable.
So let's proceed to real world examples. So web application deployment. So checking for database connection, details, API keys, and server configuration settings. Containerized environments. So we know that API is the most common use today, especially sa online platforms like Shopee, Lazada, API integrate ng example Gcash payment. So let's proceed to containerized environments, so Docker or Kubernetes, inspecting environment variables passed to containers, CI/CD pipelines, validating environment variables before deploying applications. So before we deploy the applications, we need to validate. So that's all.
Conclusion. So checking environment settings is a critical aspect of system administration, application development, and troubleshooting. So by understanding how to check and manage environment variables effectively, so we can improve the stability, security, and performance of our systems and applications. So it is very crucial gyud nga dapat kita maka-understand ta on how to check and manage sa environment variables para ma-secure sad siya, and then ang performance is nindot pod siya.